So diet would be the other, I believe, big component of how we could try and maintain our bone health. So I guess, do you have any kind of overview on diet? I mean, what kind of nutrients should we be looking for to maintain good bone health?
So I'm not a nutritionist, but I can say this, that it's the same things that you should eat to maintain the rest of your body's health.
Right.
Fruits and vegetables. For bone, there are a lot of vegetables that have high levels of calcium, like kale, which a lot of people don't like, but there are other vegetables that have high levels of calcium. And so these are good for maintaining bone health. In the case of fruits, there are some fruits that actually are what we call antioxidants, which we may get to. And these fruits will actually help to prevent excessive bone resorption. So those fruits are things like blueberries and plums. Plums are very good. Those are both good things to eat. Of course, everybody needs protein. I probably don't want to eat too much red meat. A little bit of red meat is fine. Or if you're a vegetarian, just make sure that you're getting protein in some other way by mixing beans and rice and other ways that vegetarians can do that. And then fish, of course, is very good, so particularly some kinds of fish, preferably wild caught with low levels of mercury. But fish like salmon have high levels of omega-3 fatty acids, and omega-3 fatty acids are anti-inflammatory agents. So, if you have arthritis or something like that, it's an inflammatory disease, eating these kinds of foods also will be very beneficial.
Okay, excellent. What about collagen supplements or getting a collagen? Does eating collagen help you build collagen?
No.
No. Okay.
That's a fairly simple answer.
Okay, no, excellent.
But what you want to do is you want to maintain a healthy balance, or as healthy as possible, of resorption and bone formation. So what forms collagen is bone formation, is osteoblasts. And eating more collagen is not going to help you do that. Doing things like exercising and eating the right foods that will help bone forming cells form collagen will do that.
Right, as long as you have the right building blocks, they'll build it. Okay, so what about D3, K2, and so is vitamin D important for bone building, and should we supplement with vitamin D?
Yes, I would say it is very important, and this is why it's important. Calcium is also important, and but vitamin D helps to allow calcium to be absorbed through the intestine. So as we get older, even if we're ingesting what we think is an adequate amount of calcium, and most of us don't, it doesn't absorb very well through the intestine. It doesn't absorb as well as it did when we were younger. And so if you take it in combination with vitamin D, the vitamin D actually helps that to be absorbed through the intestine and gets more calcium into your body. So the combination of good levels of calcium and good levels of vitamin D are really important. I think the current required daily RDA for vitamin D is 1,200 IUs, I believe. In my opinion, that's okay. It's low. You can actually ingest a lot of vitamin D and not hurt yourself. And so if you were to take 2,000 to 4,000 IUs a day, in combination with a calcium supplement to make sure that you had 1,200 milligrams of calcium a day, this would be very helpful to bone health.
Interesting. I did see some paper that said calcium supplementation is perhaps not good. Have you seen?
Yeah, well, so there are arguments over calcium and vitamin D, and there have been arguments for many, many years. With calcium, um, I would not ever tell anybody it's not good. It is good. But once you've achieved a sufficient amount of calcium, once you're taking a sufficient amount, and I think the recommendation for older people is 1,200 milligrams a day. And some of that you get in food, of course.
Yeah.
But we don't get most at our ages, and in the way we all eat, we probably don't get a sufficient amount. But once you get a sufficient amount of calcium, it doesn't help you to take more calcium. Now, I'm not sure that it really hurts you. I'm not convinced that taking more calcium will cause you to have bone growth in your joints or get arthritis or things like that. I'm not convinced that that's the case. But with calcium, the primary issue is deficiency. You don't want to be deficient. Once you have sufficient calcium, it's fine. With vitamin D, most people are unknowingly deficient in vitamin D. And you want to have not only sufficient amounts, but as I said, you could take more than that. And I think it certainly won't hurt you. The extent to which it helps is debatable. A recent paper indicated that 2,000 IUs was beneficial for bone, and that 4,000 or 10,000, which they also tested, actually caused either was not beneficial, or in some cases at the higher levels could be detrimental. I'm not sure that's the case, but certainly 2,000 to 4,000 is safe. I mean, one of the reasons that we're calcium deficient, of course, is that particularly in the higher latitudes, whether you're either in the northern hemisphere or the southern hemisphere, as you get closer to the poles, you don't make as much vitamin D. I mean, the sun is very important in helping you to synthesize vitamin D. And in the summer, in a mid-latitude area between about April and May and September or October, you can, if you're out in the sun and you're not wearing extreme amounts of sunscreen, you can actually get enough ultraviolet radiation to make vitamin D. And you store vitamin D in your body, so you don't have to have that all the time. But between October and the next April, you're probably not going to have enough vitamin D. And so it really is important to supplement. And as I said, it doesn't hurt you to supplement quite a lot.
Right. So one last question. So do you have like a top habit that you have for kind of maintaining your health as you get older? You have like a favorite habit?
I have good genes, but my habits, I exercise a fair amount. I do a lot of hiking. Before the pandemic hit, I played a lot of racquetball, which I hope to get back to. Very impactive type of exercise. So I do a fair amount of exercise. I eat a good diet. I eat a lot of fish, and I eat fruits and vegetables. So that's that's very helpful.
Okay, so thank you very much for spending the time this afternoon. So if people wanted to find out more about your work and your lab, can you tell them where they can see that?
Yes. So I can't give you a web address right now with that. I'm a member of what's something called the Indiana Center for Musculoskeletal Health.
Right.
And if you were to Google that, you should be able to find a web page that will come up with my name.
Right.
So that's one possibility. I also have a presence on LinkedIn. If people know what that is in our LinkedIn to LinkedIn, we can friend each other. So those are a couple of ways to find out.
Excellent. I will look them up and we'll put them in the description. So thank you so much for spending the time today, and I hope that we get the opportunity to talk again.
So too. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Thank you all for watching. I hope that you found the video informative. Please do hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell button for new video release notifications. It encourages us to continue to create more videos about anti-aging and extending healthy lifespan. Thank you so much for your kind support. I wish you all well and will speak to you again soon.